going to talk to you about BBIG, Vinco Ventures Incorporated. First, we're going to look at the fundamentals. So this is the balance sheet. Cash and cash equivalents is relatively low compared to, I looked at CLEU recently and their cash was much higher. I'm just saying, like, if I had to pick between two stocks, I would pick CLEU. Then there's current assets. Like, more often than not, their current assets do not cover their current liabilities. I'm just going over like a few ratios, not even a few, like one or two that I think are useful to understand. So this tells you how well the company can cover its short-term liabilities. So it can't. I mean, like, it doesn't. I don't know how they're going to survive, especially because cash is so important for businesses. So if the cash goes too low, then they can go bankrupt. So that's really bad. I'm not even going to look at the long term because, I mean, like, yes, long term total liabilities is covered by total assets, but then there's like 15 million of bullshit, which is goodwill and intangibles. For me, that's BS. So if you look at it like that, total assets is actually, what is it, 11? No, 9. Yeah, it's 9. Right? Hold on. 15? Yeah, 9. Yep. So 9 versus 12. So they're not covering their total liabilities, to my knowledge. And that's just, I think, in general. So 26 versus 14. Again, subtract 15. So 11. 11 versus 14. Not good. Okay, so that's not good. Let's go to the income statement. Net income has pretty consistently been negative. This quarter it was positive, but for recent quarters, negative. And you want the quarters to be positive, like cumulatively at least. It's not. Then you have annual net income, always negative. So BBIG's financials don't look too good to me. Just being honest. Now, normally, okay, so one thing we can talk about is the fact that it says it's consumer product research and development. So research and development, it's normal to have negative net income. But they're not just a research and development company. They also do manufacturing, sales, and fulfillment globally. So they should at least have a better net income than this. This is too low. And this is in millions US dollars. So for me, I'm not satisfied with that. They also, okay, some good things about them. They do business through e-commerce channels. So that's good. That's like it's going to be good in the COVID environment, e-commerce. And then they also have a side of their business, which they're strategically focusing more on, which is medical supplies. And that's awesome. That's literally it for, that's it for BBIG. Then some other stuff. So NFT. So Zash, they're merging with BBIG, or Vinco Ventures is merging with Zash. And Zash brings in NFT, non-fungible token value, because they create unique content. Okay, so NFT just means content that's unique and cannot be copied. Well, it can be copied, but there is like a unique, there's a unique aspect to it. So if they're creating content, that's unique, and then they own the content, and then they can sell it, which they apparently do. So that's handles the NFT, and apparently NFT stocks are quite hot. So that's some value that the stock will bring to this company will bring to the stock. And it's not there yet. So, okay, so next thing. So I read this, somebody's created a petition about the HMNY stock. The guy said he lost several millions of dollars, and he said that the CEO of MoviePass, CEO of Helios and Matheson concocted a scheme defrauding investors. And then if you look at the stock price, it says 9,623. And the reason it says that is because there was a post-stock split. This is actually $40 at the time, and then it fell. And then it fell to like really low, basically less than a penny. Sorry, less than $1. Well, far less than $1. Now, right now, it's like less than a penny, and this is post multiplied by 250. So you divide that by this small little number divided by 250. That's the real price. So this is like a true pump and dump, and apparently this guy is responsible for it, Ted Farnsworth. So I wouldn't trust this guy as far as I could throw him. So, like, this is the dude. And then there's also this guy, Vincent Buddha. I don't know about him. Created one of the largest marketing companies. Okay. After selling his company. Then there's this guy, Jason Ma. Apparently he's, like, super successful. And he has some investments, including Triller, Musical.ly, TikTok. A lot of investments. And then there's Lisa King. Okay, so I don't know. I'm personally not impressed. I don't care. I don't know. After the pump and dump thing, that just got totally turned off. You don't want to be in, I don't know, this guy who wanted to create a petition shoes. The only thing is, like, this wasn't over the course of one day. This is over the course of many days. Went from September 11th, 2017, all the way up to October 9th, 2017. It was rising. Then it fell, and more or less, it just continued to fall. So, I mean, if you had a brain, you'd probably get out, you know, let's say this is $40 and this is $20. You would get out if you lost like a few thousands of dollars. So, I mean, unless you're holding long, I can see like how people who hold stocks for a long time would be really pissed because they'd be like, oh yeah, it's gonna rise. Oh no, it's definitely gonna rise. Oh crap, it's never rising. Okay, so let's see. Did I have anything else to talk about for BBIG in terms of fundamentals? Yeah, one other thing. So Zash acquired Lomotiv. I tried the Lomotiv app. I really like it. I used it a bit, and I read the reviews, and also the reviews are really good for it. People really like the app. So they made a really smart acquisition for Zash. And then last thing I want to talk about very quickly is the fact that Zash is an entertainment company, and BBIG is not an entertainment company. They sell like products. It's a mismatch in terms of merger, and I don't like the fact that the two different companies are merging. It's like you take your local grocery store and you're merging them with an electronics company. It doesn't make sense. So for me, I don't like this merger. It doesn't make sense to me. Okay? Yeah, two different industries. Okay, now we can look at the fundamentals. Finally. So let's look at the past 3 months. Okay, it kind of does look like a pump and dump. Okay, so pump. Horrible. Okay, so when you connect the highs, this is like, you can see, okay, so I'm just going to talk about what I talked about in my last two videos, and that is how to trade a downtrending stock. So you can see that it's downtrending. Well, it's hard to see from this view. Maybe I can make it a little clearer. Yeah. So the highs are becoming smaller and smaller. And you can create a line that connects most of the highs. I didn't create it, I didn't go like this, but you could. Instead, I just tried to hit these lines as well. So this was my basic line. So any line after, any price above this line was a premium price. You're getting a premium price for what you paid for, assuming you bought lower. And then if you bought lower over here, these are all discount prices. And all I did was I took this line, I copied it, and then I pasted it below, and then I tried to hit some of the support levels, I guess. And then basically, yeah, I mean, it's not like a perfect, it's not at all perfect, but it does, it's a little like a linear regression. I could try to post a linear regression right now, but I'm not going to do that. So for me, this is good enough. I feel like anyone who bought over here and sold over here is, I mean, this is a really hard stock to make money off of if it's rising like this much. Like, I mean, if you're really interested in having a stock go from 4 to, like, it went from 4 to 6.79. What kind of percentage increase is that? 4 to 6.79? That's roughly, it's like 60%. So if you're looking for like 60% increases, it will be very hard to catch because they spike. So they get pumped and dumped. So it's going to be really hard to catch. And the same can be said over here. This was really hard to catch as well. This one is a lot slower. And then, I mean, you could also draw breakout lines. So here you can see the stock broke out over here. Here you can see the stock broke down over here. Here you can see the stock broke out over here, so this was a really good time to buy. And then it's starting to move up, so the next step would be for it to fall. I mean, honestly, like, maybe it will spike up, but it will eventually fall. Just like here, see, it spiked up, fell. Who knows, maybe it'll spike up, and then it will break out through this pattern, this line. It's more like here. Okay, and I'm looking at it from like 3-month perspective right now, so from January all the way till March. Sorry, this is a long video, but I'm glad I made it because I didn't know anything about this company until now, and now I really don't like it. Before I was like, oh, this is cool, but now I'm just so afraid. Okay, so I'm gonna take away, should I take away the drawings or no? Let's hit 1 day. Which day do I want to look at, to be honest? Let's see. I'm gonna take away the drawings. It's kind of distracting. Let's look at 5 days, past 5 days. Okay, like, this is not too bad. Okay, this is another thing I wanted to talk about. So normally I watch not one stock at a time. I'm watching like 200 or 100 at a time. So if I grab, where is it? Is this BBIG? Let me just double check. It says it's blue, so that is probably it. That is it. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean. So this is what I normally look at, to be honest, and I'm quite serious about this. This is awesome for me. This is how I pick stocks. So for example, this would have been a really good stock to pick, AEZS, and from 10.59 all the way up to 12, it uptrended. I'm starting to notice a very clear trend. Stocks like hot stocks like this one, they like to uptrend for about an hour and 30 minutes or up to an hour, and then they like to downtrend. Not like all the time, I'm just saying, like, it happens. And here's BBIG, so it popped out. So this was, it had its time to uptrend. So if you'd caught it over here, what day was this? March 26th? So that's the day I want to look at, March 26th. March 25th, March 26th. Okay, here we go. So let's see. Let's take a look. How does the toolbox tell us to trade on this? This is a 5-minute trend, so we're going to back away from that. and we're gonna look at the algo signals. 2 and 2 is pretty good on 1 minute chart. 3 and 3 is really sharp. 3 and 3 is quite good. I'm thinking I should look at 3 and 3. Let me just double check one thing. Okay, so high of the day is 4, and then low of the day, regular session and kind of pre-market too, was 3.32. Our goal here, if you're going long, is to go long at 3.35, and then if you're a short seller, you should be trying to short at 4.05. This would have made both teams, opposing teams, money. And this is actually a scale between the smartest short sellers and the smartest people taking long position, and to the dumbest. So if you took a long position over here, you're not as smart as the guy who's taking a long position over here. It just makes sense, okay? You were clever to do it here. You were stupid to go long over here. And there's people that go long over here because you can see people are still buying. That's what's pushing up the price, right? Right. Okay. Rest in peace for all those people. Okay, whatever. How would we trade on this? When would we buy? So first I'll show you the simple trades. I think let's go with like easiest first. It's turning into a long video, crap, sorry. Here we go. So let's see, where does it say to buy? It says to buy over here. Oh, man, look how sweet this is, guys. Look how sweet this algo is. When you, like, this is my lazy algo, and basically what it does, it will tell me to buy and sell, right? And the buys and sells are not perfect all the time. And by that I mean I put a stop loss of 1% in here. So the worst thing that could happen is you could lose 1% of whatever you invest. It seems too good to be true, but this is legit. This is real. I should just use this all the time. No, it's not true. I mean, I do use it all the time, but anyways. So it says to buy here at 3.45, and then it said to sell here at 3.42, right? So that's a 1% loss, roughly. But then it says to buy here at 3.47, and then it says to sell here at this bad drop. Sell here at 3.88. So 3.47 versus 3.9. That's a good gain for sure. I expected a little better than that, but okay, fine. Then it said to buy over here at 3.59, sell over here at 3.62, buy over here at 3.59 again, and then sell over here at 3.66. And then there's just a bunch of lazy trades, okay? Now, I say lazy because it's less sensitive. So let's increase the sensitivity to 2. I'm not sure, it will probably say the same thing. It will probably say to sell right over here. Oh, okay, it said to sell over here. So there's a bunch of like scalps that you can see here. And now here's the interesting part, okay? I've noticed that it's really, really, really awesome. Like I've seen this pattern happen so many times. So you have a stock that's really high, or not really high, but relatively high, falls, and then it has this like, basically support and resistance start to fall overall. You can see here support fell, resistance fell. Support fell, resistance still technically fall. Support fell, resistance fell, support fell, resistance starts to rise. Okay, and then you get this, I get this pink color because that's what my algo tells me. And then it goes down again, and then okay, here is the best time to go long. When a stock is changing from downtrend to uptrend, the reversal, this is where the reversal happens. Reversal usually also happens when a stock slope between the highs and the lows, like kind of like the channel will show a zero slope. So if I draw channels right here, so I'm going to show you a channel. So for breakout. So let's make the channel 5, okay? I'll say okay. I'll do a replay. I'll change this to candles if it's not already. And then I'll go over here. And now I think it was over here, right? Yeah, it was. So I'll go replay, hit replay. And then I'll go right here, okay? Now check out the channel. Can you see here how the slope is kind of like 0? It's zeros over here. Look, oh my god, look how straight that is. That's a 0 slope, my friends. 0, right over here. Okay, the channel is 0. If it goes from down to 0, that can be the beginning of a strong uptrend. I mean, not strong uptrend, but an uptrend. Because this was clearly a downtrend, okay? But then, like, as it, like, kind of zeroed out over here, it kind of zeroed out over here as well. But it went from 0 to up. It also went up here as well, but then it went down. And just basically, it lasted longer because support and resistance were increasing over here. It didn't fall over here. Oh, this is going to be really interesting. I'm curious to know, what is the band hit count, okay? So I've said in my previous videos that my kind of rule of thumb is that around 20, a stock will usually have a reversal, around 20 hits. But the thing is that, like, this is a rule of thumb. It's not going to be exact all the time. It could be a little more, it could be a little less. In this case, it was a lot more, like 27. I've seen like 50 or 60 sometimes, but these are like rare cases. I honestly probably would have got out like, taking profit around like 20, to be honest. That would have been enough for me. I would have taken profit around this area. And then if it kept on going further, I would have been like, oh, damn, I wish I was still in this, da 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 da, and then boom, this stock gets rocked, okay? I don't feel too bad. What else? So, I mean, if I was holding for long term, I don't know how I would trade this on long term, but for short term, that's how I would have traded it. I would have tried to find like a 0 slope. I would have tried to find that sweet spot of where the downtrend does a reversal and starts to go uptrend. And I would try to get in as soon as possible. I don't know about you, but pulling the trigger to buy and sell can be very difficult. So, yeah. So I would try to pull the trigger in hindsight, like looking at this chart. I would try to pull the trigger. Hold on, where am I? In this, okay. I would try to pull the trigger in this area where it goes from pink to peach to pink to peach to green. Like I don't know if I would pull the trigger over here, but like over here, yes. No, and even, sorry, this area mimics this area. And then the more you see the green, I mean, for me, you guys aren't using my indicators, so I don't know if you're going to see the same things that I see. But what I can say, if you're not using my indicator, is that like you're watching the stock and support and resistance is starting to rise like this, you can stay in it. But be aware, stocks do not move linearly all the time. In fact, more often than not, they don't move linearly. So you have to be very careful for a potential drop. Now, I'm going to show you my anti-drop method. I don't know if I shared it in another video. I probably did. In eyes, probably I did. The shorter the time frame, the easier you can see stocks. You can see them drop. So honestly, like I think, so you can see here, I'm getting a bunch of sell signals over here. The sell signals also start falling. Okay, this is like, I mean, buy and sell started to fall over here. Buy and sells are rising over here. Buy and sells are falling over here. I would probably like take it a little more seriously. But then as they start to rise, you can take the buys more seriously and the sells less seriously. But here, there's a big drop. It still goes, and then basically it shows a lot of resistance at the 4 level. the 4.2 level, and then boom, it just, you know, background completely changes. Because like I said, the uptrends, they don't always last forever, and this is like a clear case of it. So this is 5 second, and then if you really wanted to see everything, because even if 5 second is not perfect, like okay, this is actually pretty good, but I think, for example, no, actually 5 second is totally good enough on this chart, at least. I was trying to find a better example of where you wouldn't want to like get stuck in a really big drop, but for this chart it's okay. I think I covered enough. Did I cover enough? I think I did. I just want to try one other thing before I leave you guys. So, okay, so clearly this is a breakdown of the stock price, right? This is a definite sell because it's the beginning of like a downtrend. And this is also a bearish breakdown. So what would you do in this scenario, okay? This will be like a learning experience for me because I haven't really thought about this too often. I think I did think about it, but anyways, we copy this, you paste it over here, and you try to connect most of the highs. Not all of them, but most of them. So maybe over here. Let's use the information we have. So far we have this much information, okay? So any price above this line is gonna be a premium price. And because it's uptrending, that means the longer you wait and the longer you wait for the stock to continue uptrending, and the premium prices just get better in an uptrend. And the premium prices in a downtrend will just get worse and worse as it moves along, if you're going long. And then, yeah, so this is the buy line. So you have bounces. I don't know if I have, do I still have it here? Ichimoku clouds, okay. Because I removed a lot of this stuff. I cleaned it up for myself. If I show you the Ichimoku clouds, I'm on candles, right? Okay, so I'll hit replay. It's loading. Okay, so you can see they're bouncing off the clouds. Bounce once over here, goes above into this upper band area. This is above 100% if we're judging by percentages. 100%, above 100% in terms of the range. Then it bounces again, goes into that above 100% area, bounces again off the clouds, goes up, goes up, goes up, and then basically these are great prices to sell at, okay? I'm not saying they're the best, because if you were to sell here, it's much more desirable to sell over here, but it's still an excellent selling price. If you bought here, if you sold here at 3.73 and you had purchased, let's say like, no, that doesn't help. Let's take away the clouds for a second. So basically what I'm trying to say is stock price will go through like the bands, like Bollinger Bands, right? And then you can actually grab the percentage, and actually my indicator will give me the percentage if I ask for it. If I say in info panel, I'll say like on, simple, right? And it will tell me where we are in the bands. No, I don't want to. So let's say right here, where are we in the bands? Should tell me. It'll probably say something like less than 50%, like something like 20%. Where's my information? Can I get my, where is it? There's 2. Oh, it wasn't even on. Okay, my bad. Hit okay. Okay, it's loading. It actually looks more like 60% over here. Yeah, 59%. But you can see that the candle went down a few times, and it did hit that price. So let me rewind it a bit just to see it. Sorry, I'm like wasting time a bit, but this is a good one. It'll probably say less than 50%. So this one says 28%. Okay, and that's at the height. This candle actually hits below 0%, so it's a negative 0%. So imagine you buy at like negative 0%, and you're selling at not 77, but let's say above 100 at this price, 3.51. So 3.51 versus 3.34. That's a huge percentage difference. I could calculate it for you. 3.51 less, oh, sorry, not less, divided by 3.36 minus 1. Okay, it's not a huge percentage difference. It's only 5%, but I mean, 5% is not bad. This also brings us to the behavior of an uptrending stock and a downtrending stock. Uptrending stock is going to hang out. It's going to bounce. It's going to hang out in the range of 50% and 100% in general. So here we can see price location is 88%, 84%, 60%, 103%. Now I'm asking you a question. Would you buy a stock at 103%? Your answer should be yes. Yes, I would buy. Well, you should say no, actually. If you're risk averse, you should say no. But technically, yes, you could. It would be totally fine if you bought at the top. And the reason why is because stocks love sticking or gravitating towards the upper bands in an uptrend and the lower bands in a downtrend. So 103%, that's where it is. I'll hit play. It went down for a second. I don't know if you saw that. It went down to like 60% or 77% or something. And now it's at 103% again. 75%. Well, that was a little too fast. Slow down, Trading View. 75% to... Come on. To 98%. Okay, so you see my point? So it's actually bouncing off like EMA 5 and then going up to, I don't know what this is, but this is, I just call it like above 100% in the bands. So these are excellent selling prices. I feel like these are strong selling prices when they go in this area. Take them, it's okay, take profit. Unless you want to be a part of the stock when it's like falling. When it's falling that much, I mean, just like all the gains are gone, you know? I find that that's the greed, as somebody who gambles and somebody who's lost a lot and also sometimes I've made a lot too, greed is always the one factor that destroys me. So it also helps me a lot too, but more often than not, it's usually like when I have like a very a controlled amount of profit. So if that's usually how I really win when I gamble. I take my profits and I leave. I don't continue to trade. When I continue to trade, like all the time, when I get greedy, all the time, I lose. This is just like, you know, in general. I'm not saying all the time that happens, but in general, that tends to be the case. So, sorry this was such a long video. I hope you enjoyed it. I like rambled a lot, but I hope it was about like useful stuff. There's so much to talk about, even with technicals. You can see here like my super trend predicted, it predicted 3.74 or 3.86 before it even happened, you know? And like if you had gotten in over here, as the super trend was converging, then you would have got to see 3.86. And then the opposite is true over here too, because when it's red and it's converging, then you can expect, while it's like 3 point or whatever $4, you can actually expect 3.78, and that happens for sure as well. And then yeah, I think I'll stop there. That was a long video. All right, peace out. Hope you enjoyed the video.